kind of a big deal.
There's one simple phrase that I can use to describe this video that you're gonna be seeing today. You know the vibes. Let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put y'all on to the vibiness of these 5 fragrances that I'm sure you're gonna need in your repertoire. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This is your boy, C to the U to the B to the A, aka on my Williamsburg shit. You know what I'm saying? With my turtleneck and my big brim hat, looking like an uncircumcised schlong. Now, the 5 fragrances I'm going to present to you, I feel that are some of the artsier fragrances in my collection. What I feel about these fragrances that I feel the perfumer or the brand owner was not thinking about the mass appeal of these fragrances. I think the perfumer was solely making these fragrances for themselves and hoping that the masses enjoy these fragrances. I don't think they approached it like, yo, I'ma use this formula because it works. Or I'ma use these particular notes because that should be hitting all the senses. What I think happened was they were feeling real artsy, maybe a little too artsy, decided to sit down, manipulate some thoughts, reminisce on some situations, start thinking of historical aspects or shit that was happening in their life, and decided to put it in bottle formation. I'm gonna present to you 5 fragrances that I feel that are in my collection that the artist was not thinking about you. They were thinking about making some shit for themselves and hopefully you cop it. These are in no particular order, but I'm telling you, these are all hits in their own way. The first fragrance is none other than by the House of Chanel, and that's Coromandel. Coromandel is one of these sweet, citrusy, vanillic, benzoin, delicious fragrances that could have a polarizing effect to some people. My wife particularly does not like this fragrance at all. She feels it's very old lady, senior citizen-ish. She just thinks this shit is too washed for me. Me personally, I think this shit is a fucking artistic gem. I think it has a beautiful, sexy quality about it. It has a sophistication that it just exudes out of this fragrance, and you can't help to enjoy how the fragrance completely changes from opening to the complete dry down into something really beautiful, especially when your skin chemistry starts incorporating with this shit. Benzoin, vanilla, citrus, just delicious joint. Then you got that little tinge of that white chocolate. This is definitely on the artistic side. For me and my fragrance repertoire, this is definitely one of them joints. Next one. The next one in my stash is one of my newer acquisitions that I feel it was particularly made for me, or at least that's what I tell myself, because it has a little bit of a Cuban root and this shit is just different. The fragrance is by Renier Parfums, and that's Havana 500. Can you say cortadito? Cortadito is like a quadruple or a 6-time espresso fit in like a cap about this big. This shit is literally like liquid cocaine. If you've ever taken a Cuban shot of coffee, you definitely are not right in the head. You've done massive amount of drugs, or you're the type of person that drinks 75 Monster energy drinks throughout the day. Coffee, leather, sexy, tobacco, walking through the streets of Cuba in fucking beat down sandals, smoking a cigar, listening to the old lady who's 99 years old at her door, singing at the top of her lungs like her life is absolutely perfect when she has nothing. Artistic as shit. So artistic, in fact, that this motherfucker may stain your clothes because it has a little bit of a blue dye in it that he had to put in here to not fuck shit up and make it look like black tar all over the place. So it's just super coffee espresso, just beautiful, it's sensational. This wasn't something that was produced with mass appeal in mind. This was something completely artistic and fucking just awesome. Next one. The next fragrance did make a bit of a splash, but I still think that they had that artistic form in mind. The fragrance is by Byron Parfums, and that's Mulla Mulla. You like caramel apples? How about a peach dipped in caramel? If you melted a whole plate of caramels, those caramel squares your grandma kept at the bottom of her purse, but they were alright if they had lint on it because they came in a little cellophane wrapper. If you took a bowl of them shits, melted it, took a beautiful ripe peach, just dipped it in that motherfucker and just let it swirl, and just added maybe like a dusting of red pepper flake just to give it a little bit of spice to knock down the sweetness. I think what Byron Parfums was trying to do with this is definitely go that artistic route. This has the mass appealing quality, and it ended up being a banger for a lot of people. For some people, they felt that this shit is overly sweet. It is super sweet, but it's also got an artistic component. It's not something that you can immediately think to yourself, oh, this smells like this, or this exactly smells like that, or this reminds me of this. Kind of ballsy for men to be wearing something this fucking sweet, but on some skins, this shit produces fire. Byron Parfums came artsy with this motherfucker. Next one. The next fragrance is not really talked about, I think, at all in Frag Calm. I've spoken about it in a previous video when I got my hands on it, and I thought it was just such a sexy, gentlemanly fragrance that it has an artistic quality about it that, again, I feel they were making it for themselves. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, my bad, bro, but it's Marc Antoine Barrios, and this is Gynamine. Modernized gentleman vibes. This is beautiful, ozonic. That's how you put it, just this airy quality about it. It's musky, it's citrusy, it's classic, but a refined gentleman in the new age of hipster. It's got a sweet floral violet note. It's herbaceous, it's musky, it's sexy, it's artsy, it's now. You want to throw on one of these big brim hats or maybe a fucking beret, tilt it to the side and start painting shit. Maybe tweaking Bob Ross's nipples in the middle of it, just going, yeah, these are happy little mistakes. Yes.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is a vibe, yo. Beautiful fragrance. I think this is something that people should pay attention to, because if you like that classic man style with a new school twist, I love it. Next one. And last and certainly not least, from one of the most creative and spiritual houses in fragrance. I really appreciate this house because it's just got some kind of magical, mystical powers about it. And if you know Frag Calm, you know what house this is. The house is none other than the House of Matriarch, and this one is Bonsai. There's no way that the House of Matriarch had mass appeal on this, because this is not nowhere near a mass appealing fragrance at all. They were just going for the real photorealistic route. Christy Michelle was literally trying to get the most HD 10 fucking 4K 8K video in a fragrance. She was trying to get the most photorealistic 3D touch your balls in the middle of a garden when she was creating this fragrance. Green, green, and greener. I completely feel that this is just crushed green grass, herbal citrus, just crushed in a fucking glass jar, just cheesecloth into this. It's so photorealistic and artsy that it's incredible. This doesn't have a sex appeal to it. It doesn't have a mass appeal to it. It has a very eclectic, super small niche community that would like this fragrance. But if you're looking for that artsy vibe, if you're looking for something completely left from the mass appealing shit that we know, if you're looking for something that doesn't have an Ambroxan bomb, or it's not filled with pineapple so you automatically think it's Aventus, or if it's green, it's already associated with green Irish tweed, or if it's sweet, it's gotta be Baccarat Rouge. If you just don't want to have these what coulda kinda sorta thoughts, then you go for some of these artsy ass fragrances. They aren't the most mass appealing, they aren't gonna be the most panty dropping, they're not gonna be getting them wet like a Corvette, but you going for the artsy route, right? So you don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. You're wearing it for you because you want to paint on canvas with watercolors, butt naked, and just a fucking white robe. So those are the 5 fragrances that I feel that are super different. They are not created for you, they're created for the perfumer or the brand owner themselves, with artistic qualities in mind solely. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart. All these shits is ball sprayers, and I see y'all artsy bitches next time. You know who it is. It's the Bob Ross of this fragrance game, kid. We making happy mistakes over here. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense, you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.